10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
And Evos about to go for the last pick here. I wonder what's going to be. They're gonna burn through their reserve time here at an insanely fast rate. And the last pick is gonna be an Urza. Interesting choice. Great with the Death Prophet, great with the Bat Rider. So it's actually gonna be more of a single target lineup. The Earthshaker more picked for crowd control than AoE damage here. Interesting. Definitely interesting, especially because Earthshaker has been nerfed a bit. He is no longer one of the strongest heroes, but a lot of teams still consider him really good because he has one of the longest chain stuns, and if you catch people before the BKB goes off of somebody, then that can potentially just be as strong as a Beastmaster stun. Regum Qeon, last pick in the Phantom Lancer here, and all of a sudden this draft got real. That's why I'm always just so, well... That's why I'm always waiting for those last picks before I judge a draft, because stuff like this. I mean, I didn't know Yabby played the Phantom Lancer here. And... okay. Wait, so Yabby is the mid lane player. I wonder if it's gonna be a mid lane Phantom Lancer. It's good against the Death Prophet, but it's really susceptible to early game ganks. So, yeah, guys. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna play an ad real quick for our sponsors, XBet, who are, by the way, still pretty chill.
XBet, best odds for esport and live betting. Unique gaming lines for all esport disciplines including Dota and CSGO, casino and live dealers. Highest payouts, 100% bonus on your first deposit.
Oh, look at that spam. It's been the same in the lobby, so... You know, these players are familiar with each other. One of the guys from Evos, after all, played for RRQ for a pretty long while, and... seems they're on pretty good terms. And honestly, that just means I wonder how this game is gonna go. I mean, for all we know, this could be a super exciting, super close game. The first one immediately.
30 seconds.
We got 2 whole best of 3s today, so we still got plenty of Dota to go around, even though the Europe Cup is finished now.
The battle begins.
And retreat.
The battle begins.
Juggernaut getting ran at here, but Earthshaker is there for the save. Thiefer now is gonna be in a bit of trouble, but he just suicides through the tower. Earthshaker is there for the save. Good fissure to block him off, but still perfect way of cutting your loss. Now, once an early game aggression like that gets punished, and Yebi is on the mid lane, so I wonder how this mid lane is gonna go, especially regarding rotations. And it's Phantom Lancer into an Earthshaker. That's another really risky pick for RRQ here. Of course, they want the Juggernaut to kind of be able to deal with him. Phantom Lancer is just gonna be sitting at the sidelines, waiting for people to go low health, finish them off for a long while. It's not like he's that great at running at people. And honestly, I kind of do favor Team Evos here, just by a tiny sliver. I mean, that Phantom Lancer pick into Earthshaker kind of makes it slightly better for Evos. That's really all it comes down to here. Because Urza and Juggernaut kind of equal when it comes to falling off and momentum. The Silence ultimate is pretty decent here, but pretty decent is all you're gonna get. It's not like you can interrupt a giant teamfight combo. It's not like Void's gonna jump in and then you press R and the Void's just dead or something.
I will not forget this.
Fortunes change.
Yes.
Okay, on the mid lane, Facehugger just died to a really brave tower dive here, but the Frost Armor is gonna let Yebi get away with it.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I think I might have to pay a little bit more attention to the mid lane. Phantom Lancer, a hero which really excels when being played aggressively, but I didn't expect 2-mid tower dive coming out from him.
Ours, not yours.
Koala on the offlane there. Silence a really good pick against Puck, and he just discovers why it's such a good pick.
You and yours.
That silence. It's literally 0.2 seconds too long to get a good orb off. That means +2 in for the silencer, -2 attack damage for the Puck, which is pretty significant. Facehugger now getting some assistance from the Earthshaker there. Much needed assistance, I might add.
Arms for the dead. Illusion.
Okay, the game's kinda quiet. It looks like Koala's learned his lesson from dying there. It's a really annoying lane to play on. Facehugger still playing it somewhat carefully here, but got a decent deal of armor and attributes in general up and running, so gonna be able to tank a lot of what Yebi will throw at him. Yebi forced to commit a salve there as well. And if we look at Juggernaut's farm, he's sitting at the top of the lastest right now. That's always such a good spot to be in. Juggernaut, of course, a bit of a strange hero momentum-wise. I never really liked his particular power curve. But if you're off to a good start, especially against heroes like Death Prophet and Urza, who they don't really scale well. As a Juggernaut, you get a lot of armor to deal with the Death Prophet.
Juggernaut.
Flyku trying to get the enchant totem off, but the Siphon Soul just wore off in time to let Yebby get out of there free.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Okay, Bat Rider almost gonna go down there, but he is gonna live barely. And it looks like Koala isn't gonna live though. And no +2 in for too high.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
But right now, Juggernaut's just farming, nobody there to shut him down. Bat Rider has to play really carefully on his lane. Same goes for the Puck. Meanwhile,
Dire's middle tower is under
how do people keep dying so often in solo? Good kill there though for the Death Prophet, a much needed one, and Evos off to a great start. They do have the late game by a slight margin here. But the Juggernaut, I think the Juggernaut's really gonna be the hero we're gonna be paying attention to once the game goes to the mid game. His mid game is insanely good. And look at that, Tuhoi just sitting up there on the mountain, getting good vision going. I think I'm gonna switch over to net worth here actually. Juggernaut not that far ahead.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Silence won't proc on Yabi, so he's gonna be fine. The logic on the Juggernaut, taking low health now, but he's gonna get a kill on the Bat Rider. +2 in for Silencer, who's now chasing for a logic here. Would love to get a kill there, but will not succeed. This guy does know how to steal int though. I mean, int on Silence is so important, and a lot of teams still don't realize it, so... Facehugger now gonna run at Yebby again. Dishing out a lot of damage, and Yebby is gonna live for the time being. Facehugger just manages to get out of the kill range there from the PL. Juggernaut, however, still going steady, still going well. Pressuring the top tower now, spinning a bit. Getting out of that front line position, because he might be a Juggernaut, he might be a really strong and reliable hero, but he does have his weaknesses. And one of them is early on front line against multiple heroes. Bat Rider gonna go down to the Lich ultimate.
I'll take that as invisibility.
So RRQ, they are sitting slightly ahead in net worth, most of that is on the Juggernaut, which is really important, really good to have, especially if he's gonna get his Manta style at the current rate. It's just gonna be insanely good timing.
Gold and sweet.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Fireboy now on the Urza, gonna run to that Roche pit and start man fighting that big monster there to get an E, just get a good experience lead going. Phantom Lance just dead to the silencer there. Too high, enjoying that free intelligence as well. And look at that, Facehugger putting on the pressure on the mid lane there while Urza is going to get that Roche kill. But the logic, he's rotating his lane pretty quickly, going to wherever his pressure is needed, wherever he can actually start working on a tower, trying to tear it down. And has been quite effective at that so far.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Coming through. Come to me.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Okay, Puck getting Renet now as well, and just gonna go down.
It did not take a prophet to see that coming.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
May I cut in?
And look at that, Juggernaut might just, yeah, really good kill on the Bat Rider there. And I mean, Illogic, he's doing a really good job at, you know, playing that carry role Juggernaut. Since Juggernaut, he's only a good carry when he's ahead. And Illogic seems to be doing really well on him. Earthshaker is gonna rush towards his Blink Dagger now. Bat Rider as well, so soon there's gonna be two really big Blink initiations available for Evos. Great ways of starting a fight. And that might help them finally get a kill on the Juggernaut, who is insanely, well, not insanely fat, but he is picking up more and more momentum, and that could just lead to him snowballing unless somebody enables a shutdown there. Yeah, he is making up for not having the best of starts here, but Juggernaut should help him, you know, create all the space in the world. Meanwhile, Dream Call committed there onto Flycoop, and he is gonna go down. Echo Biceps now on a dominating streak. And that's pretty huge for Lich. I mean, that guy's been getting experience, getting kills. Is gonna have a really good level 2 ultimate timing at this rate.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
The mid tower gonna go down as well. Xever, however, had to pay with his life. So good tower advantage up and going for RRQ. Juggernaut really profiting from that even more.
Dire are scanning.
3 towers taken for RRQ, while only 1 has been taken by Evos here. But Evos, they do have the Death Prophet ultimate, so if they want to force towers, they can definitely do so. If they want to force team fights, just as easy.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under Radiant's bottom tower is falling.
Bottom tier 2 went down to Juggernaut as well, who at this rate is gonna be pushing it insanely fast.
Dire's top tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And the top tier 1 tower went down now.
Arms for the dead.
Illusion!
So I think I'm just gonna take a general look at the items here. And there is a Blink Dagger on Fireboy, there is a Blink Dagger on Batrider. Earthshake is still working towards his. Death Prophet went for the Veil just to enable that pretty insane Soul Drain. I mean, wait. Soul Spirit Siphon, it's 5.5%, but it does come as magical damage. So if you get your enemy 0% magical resistance, you actually deal 5.5% of their health, which is pretty huge. Xever now gonna go down to the bottom lane. Batrider didn't even have to commit the lasso there or anything important for that matter. Juggernaut gonna go for a really well-timed Diffublade. Meanwhile, Evos, they are kind of playing it passively here. They want a big team fight instead, and we gotta pause. Silence has to reconnect here. Okay, go. Every team ready again, and there we go with the lasso onto the Lich instead. Death Prophet ultimate just to make sure there's a little bit more damage delivered, and the Lich was quite valuable, especially for a support kill with that dominating streak of his. Getting ended there by Facehugger, who... Okay, another pause. Well, let's hope that Evos do now have everything settled. They will get a nice little tier 1 tower, the last one, and a much needed objective here in general. Because Juggernaut, he's now reached that point where he can farm everything everywhere, and after that he can split push. And if the map isn't opened up at all, then there's nothing you can do. You cannot push out a lane, then force the team, but you can't really do some redding or anything similar. Juggernaut's just gonna be there, Juggernaut's just gonna be farming. And 2 in there for Tuhoi once again. I mean, if the game goes long enough to, you know, actually matter for Silencer, that his damage output becomes really important, that would just mean that Illogic has done the best game possible, but still wasn't able to finish the job, because Juggernaut scales pretty well until 55 minutes. And after that, it's a good timing to start transitioning Silence to core. So once that Juggernaut starts falling off, once Puck has, you know, all the items in the world thanks to that talent, and once Phantom Lancer's just kinda... Well, I mean, Phantom Lancer not really gonna completely fall off, but you can, especially with a slow start like this one, keep him down completely for the entire duration of the game. He's gonna have a couple of power spikes still. He's gonna go Manta, so itemizing defensively first before going for the Diffu, I imagine. A lot of players also just go Yasha into Diffu Blade, especially when you're playing with a Juggernaut, then you get 2 agility carries running at people, burning their mana.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Smoke up from RRQ, and the Roche is gonna be back in 2 minutes. What would be huge for RRQ is to get a good Roche, free Aegis, and then use that free Aegis to initiate it big and most likely free team fight.
Gold and sweet.
But right now RRQ, they know how much they're worth. They know that a lost fight would be really damn bad, so they're gonna do their best to avoid that. Really carefully navigating away from Team Evos here, who... I mean, Evos, they're still pretty farmed. They're ready to team fight whenever they have the Death Prophet ultimate ready. Even though Juggernaut and Phantom Lancer aren't really gonna be affected by it. Everybody else will. You got an Urza as well for some single target damage.
Trust me, I know how to handle such power.
Okay, they know those are illusions.
Radiant are scanning.
That's one way to reveal Mantistal and Phantom Lancer. He did waste an entire smoke rotation. As you know, these were the first two Phantom Lancers to come inside after the Manta was purchased. And it looks like we're just at a standstill until one team starts finding pickoffs on the other one. No team really wants to commit to a big fight. And there we go. Talk about pickoffs. Well, lasso up. Urza got a skull basher early on here, which honestly, judging by how few fights we've seen, wasn't really necessary yet, but it might become insanely important anytime soon. Roche getting contested now. RRQ, if they want to, they can run in this Juggernaut with a big Omni Slash, and they're trying to. But Bad Rider spots them out. Knocks back the Juggernaut. Okay, now Global Sign's gonna come in just to make sure this Roche is gonna happen for free. Meanwhile, the mid lane. So we're killing Xever, killing Vlaiku, and can they get Yabi somehow? Yabi not managing to juke out, and Facehugger just gonna get the kill there. Urza still running at people. Meanwhile, kill gonna go down to the Death Prophet ultimate. Urza still, he just wants to kill. No bash, no nothing. Gonna break the coil and then blink at somebody. Or not, okay. So, after all, considering how big a fight that could have been, it's gonna be somewhat contained. No big high priority core deaths. I mean, yeah, Yabi went down, but Yabi went down a lot during the early game. Right now it's the Juggernaut who's really important, and Illogic, he kinda wants to go for an Omni Slash here. Okay, just gonna play conservatively once again. Tuhoi, however, now sitting at 12 int, so this guy's actually managed to pull back in a pretty amazing way.
For the dead. Come to me.
Death Prophet went for an interesting build here. A lot of damage amplification, just making the most out of your spells, trying to get as much damage as possible down. RRQ, they would love to get a good initiation right now, but while they can't, Juggernaut, look at that. He's well farmed. He's hitting like a truck. Gonna go for the Blink Dagger next to keep himself alive and get some good Omni-Slash value out of that big ultimate of his, which until now he wasn't quite able to pull it off in the way he wants to.
I'll take that as tribute.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Okay, so Evil. Okay, there we go. Big silence, and Seifer is gonna go down. Evil still getting focused on here by everyone, and look at that. Meanwhile, the Death Prophet ultimate is gonna put on some work. Evil is gonna go down. Tuhoi went down as well. The Lich ultimate now getting value left and right. Earthshake is gonna go down. What a fight for RRQ here, but Urza as well as Death Prophet still looking for a couple of return kills. We'll find one there. Phantom Lance getting saved by the Invis rune. Just able to walk out of there. So RRQ, they do take the fight they need. Exactly the fight they need, actually. Really good gold net worth swing, but most importantly, Juggernaut didn't die. So this important and strong core hero still in a really good spot. Okay, Juggernaut could potentially be in a lot of trouble here, and they will catch him with the lasso. No chance of walking that one off. And look at that, Illogic shutting him down. Now Death Prophet on top of the net worth. The split pushing from RRQ is real. The tier 3 tower took quite a bit of chip damage, but split push is not gonna win you a game like this unless you actually manage to slowly but surely wiggle down that tier 3 tower. It's gonna be one hell of a long game. Also, I didn't bet on RRQ, but I do have faith in the Juggernaut, a lot of faith, because okay, no time to talk about Juggernaut, as now instead the Puck's gonna go down. Look at that, the damage Puck's taking, the damage Seifer is taking. But the reason why I was so hyped for the Juggernaut is Juggernaut was on top of the net worth, which is where Juggernaut wants to be effective. And Juggernaut can win entire team fights on by himself pretty much. As long as he doesn't get focused, get stun locked up, Juggernaut is such a huge hero. However, he did get focused, he is now dead for a while, and Death Prophet is sitting atop net worth, so all of a sudden the tides have really changed for Evos here. I'm not biased, it's just that if a hero which is meant to be ahead is exactly where he wants to be, then that hero has the potential to go completely out of control. It's kind of the same as with the Sven. I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but there's always the potential for it to happen, for a Juggernaut to, you know, single-handedly carry a team fight, or for Sven to all of a sudden become really dangerous and really relevant all of a sudden. And Evos, they do want to push here with the Death Prophet ultimate. Frost Armor kind of making it hard, but look at those ghosts flying through. Not really a whole lot of split push through. Meanwhile, this tier 3 could be falling, and that would get Evos in a position where they can now, okay, they can now just take shrines. That was a tier 3 for free, but look at that. Evos, they still want more, putting facehugger forward instead of backward, and now it looks like Too High is gonna go down. Pretty much insta-gift there. Urza with the BKB is just gonna run at Xeefer, and now gonna continue running at Yabby as well. Xeefer forced to buy back there, but Yabby is dead. Juggernaut now buying back as well. All of a sudden this game has escalated really quickly. Death Prophet, however, is getting low health. Facehugger about to drop here.
Profits mean nothing.
But still a good amount of buybacks baited out. Earthshaker getting silenced up. He's just gonna die. Fireboy is gonna get out of there, but now lost 3 people for the tier 3 tower. And if RRQ can get a return objective here, it's gonna be a super close game. If not, if there is no counter tier 3 for RRQ here, they should start slowly but surely losing all that momentum, all that good farm on the Juggernaut early on, which is currently keeping them in the game. Juggernaut is gonna go for the Skadi, so the attribute heavy build. And I mean, it is proven to be a pretty effective build, but right now you're mostly worried about how do we get a tower on RRQ's side. They don't have the Shadow Shaman wards up anymore. So no insta push available. Juggernaut will put a good deal of damage, or at least a decent deal of damage on the buildings. Phantom Lancer could do that too, because both of these heroes have insane attack speed, but Phantom Lancer is dead.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Mid tier 2 tower now going down to the Juggernaut. What's my MMR? My MMR is 1. I have 1 whole point of MMR, guys. I'm so pro. This Roche, however, it is... I mean, it's not as huge as tier 3 tower, but the fact that you're taking it away from Evos is really important. Evos can't get that Aegis, they can't be allowed to have it, and the Roche should be going down just in time. Since Phantom Lancer and Juggernaut, they both right-click pretty well. And look at that, denied Aegis there from Fireboy, who jumped on in. The cheese was taken, the Aegis wasn't, and that's gonna cost them big here. Illogic gonna go down, 80 seconds without buyback. Bad Rider gets return killed. But that oh no. That Bad Rider kill isn't really all that big compared to a Juggernaut, and the Aegis deny was on point. Honestly, chat, I dare to disagree. RRQ can definitely win teamfights here. I mean, if they get either the Death Prophet or the Urza as a good initiation target, then it's gonna be pretty easy to finish the rest. Because Urza, he hits like a truck, but you can kite him around. As for Death Prophet, great fight utility there with the spirits, but if you somehow manage to tear apart Death Prophet, okay, meanwhile Puck is instead torn apart, so yeah, RRQ, they're probably out of this. Might still try to make something happen here, the Phantom Lancer. Meanwhile, look at that Lich ultimate. Just barely not bouncing onto Facehugger there. Puck now taking a lot of damage. There comes the Omni Slash in, but it's the worst possible timing. So, Silence is dead, Earthshaker dead, everyone dropping left and right. Now Fireboy, gonna be a good next target here. So much for not being able to win a team fight.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
But
attack.
yeah, the main problem for RRQ isn't that they want to win team fights. The main problem is the initiation to do so. That's gonna get progressively harder. You're gonna need progressively more damage onto a single target to, like, either the Urza or the Death Prophet, to keep them away from a fight, to keep them out of a fight. And despite the fact that I really do like RRQ's build here, I think it's just gonna be them falling off unless they manage to, off the next team fight like this, if they get another team fight like this going, they need to capitalize off it. They need to get a lane of racks, maybe even, you know, a secondary tier 3 tower, because right now Evos, they're just playing around the large cooldowns, gonna walk up to that high ground, do a little bit of base damage, and then gonna walk back and
I'll take that as tribute.
go back to chilling. But this Urza, he is ridiculously fat. Got an Abyssal Blade, got a BKB. He has everything he needs. I do like the early Skull Basher build a lot here. But yeah, RRQ, they're now just playing the rat game here, waiting for a good initiation to present itself. Until then, they're gonna ramp a couple of attributes on the Juggernaut and on the Phantom Lancer. Seems like both of these guys just want to be these huge all-attribute type brawlers who don't hit for a ton. I mean, it's not like it's MKB and crit that they're building, but they will last very long in the team fights. They will be able to run at somebody, tank a lot of Death Prophet's limited damage. It's a lot of damage the Death Prophet can deal, but still limited. So they only need some way of dealing with the Urza, a more permanent solution. Maybe a sheep stick or something. Shadow Shaman is good. Shadow Shaman is good at keeping Urza locked down, at least temporarily. But he's pretty squishy. I kind of feel like you need more.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Okay, interesting smoke gank here from RRQ.
Radiant are scanning.
Scan from Evos, not gonna find anyone of course. But it looks like that smoke gank isn't gonna happen still. Evos, just too vigilant there. Smoking up themselves now. Okay, and Bad Rider, can he find the lasso here on the Phantom Lancer? Yes, he can! Urza. Gonna tear Phantom Lancer apart now. Phantom Lancer Invis, kept alive for a while there. Puck taking a lot of damage. Lich ultimate, splitting out the damage as well, but Puck went down. Now Yabby is about to drop. One more hit from the Urza is gonna do it, but Urza, okay, he will not be able to get it as of yet. Silence from the Death Prophet, they're gonna keep him from being locked down for too long, and Juggernaut going for an Omni Slash is now in a 1v5 scenario, but see, this is what I mean. He has that insane damage, he's good at running at people. His Illus alone do a lot of damage to Tuhoi, but in the end still a one fight by Evos. RRQ, they just can't initiate in any meaningful way, and that's gonna be really frustrating. I'm gonna put up buyback status for you guys. There, I mean, been quite a while ago, there is 2 minutes delay. I think I'm just gonna leave it at buyback status here actually. Juggernaut about to complete a Skadi. Same for PL. PL needs a bit more. He needs to keep farming for a couple of minutes. Juggernaut's just gonna wait for that next creep camp respawn in the rune and he should be fine. But then again, you kinda wanna keep the buyback gold ready, I reckon. With that Death Prophet ultimate, one last fight and your base is gonna get pushed in. And if RRQ could only find that initiation they are looking for, that initiation they need to actually win this game, it could turn around really quick. But right now, Evos, they are the dominating team here, and the longer the game goes, the more dominating Evos' position is gonna be. Okay, Smoke Gang. They are kinda under a lot of pressure to find something here, but the dire ward vision is very limited, so might be a really hard one. Okay, they do know the location of both of their favorite initiation targets, but look at that. Urza just stunning up the puck. There's no real follow-up. Urza now instead going ham himself. Shadow Shaman ultimate committed. Phantom Lance gonna go down. Sleeper doing his best to lock down Urza there, but there is no source of damage onto the Urza now that Yabi has dropped, and Juggernaut is not gonna fight there. RRQ, they knew they needed the initiation there, didn't get it. And look at that. I mean, this Juggernaut might be dangerous, but Evos, they are insanely tanky, able to tank a lot and then turn around. Both Urza and Death Prophet, the two high priority targets, are nearly impossible to kill already. I mean, yeah, if you get a good initiation on either one of those, well, now only the Death Prophet, because Urza has an Aegis up and running, it could help you. It could help you win a team fight, but it's gonna be a super hard task to accomplish.
I'll take that as tribute.
You need both Phantom Lancer and Juggernaut to hit the same target for 2 or 3 seconds.
Dire's top shrine is under attack. Dire's top shrine has fallen.
Coin for me.
So now the bot shrine gonna get pushed as well. Freaking Earthshaker illusions dealing 3 damage per hit. Oh wait, that was 4. Okay, and now Urza's gonna go ham. I mean, Evos really aren't in a hurry. They can just sit back, chill, and
Dire's bottom shrine is under attack.
RRQ, they're slowly but surely going to drown,
Dire's bottom shrine has
lacking
fallen.
all of the pressure they need. One man Dream Call onto the silencer, and even then they're kind of reluctant to commit on him. RRQ, they know they kind of want to, or they kind of need to make use of the high ground advantage, and even that's still going to be a really difficult game. Evos trying to catch support out warding, who will teleport away though, so that's quite alright. Meanwhile, Juggernaut doing some ratting here, trying to keep his team in the game with all he can do. His illusions are quite tanky and quite significant at this stage. But you're gonna need more than a couple of illusions to turn a game like this around. A big kill on Urza or Death Prophet. Well, once Urza doesn't have Aegis anymore. Okay, now Evos trying to find a kill on the Juggernaut there. If they could somehow find that Jugger, it would be huge. Juggernaut trying to teleport out, and no way of stopping the TP. Instead, they're just gonna get Xeeper. Decent kill on the Shadow Shaman. Not really that high value, but +2 int.
Tower is under attack.
Double damage.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Okay, so there is now a huge push coming in from RRQ, a push they wanted going for a long time. They finally do get it. Fortification is gonna buy some space now, and Death Prophet is just gonna start melting the tier 3 tower on the dire side of the map.
Dire structures are fortified.
Both teams fortifying up. Phantom Lance forced to come back there.
Dire's middle tower.
Yeah, now Juggernaut jumping in, trying to get somewhat of an initiation going, but it's not really like it does a lot. Now he's gonna get lassoed up, slowed up, stun locked. And when I say stun locked, I mean locked down completely. Now Juggernaut forced to buy back. Yabby trying to make something happen there, but not quite succeeding. Juggernaut now getting the Omni Slash off, but it's not quite bouncing favorably. He might get a kill on Tuhoi. Yeah, okay. That's Fireboy's Aegis down. That's a kill on Tuhoi, but they didn't get Facehugger. Facehugger still going, still dealing out the damage, and it looks like now Shadow Shaman wards have been committed, so okay, actually nice follow-up kill there on Illogic. Meanwhile, this tier 3 tower here got dropped, so RRQ, they kinda were forced to rely on their buyback there on the Juggernaut. Otherwise that could have been a really good fight if Juggernaut wouldn't have gone initiated on.
Disability.
A prize.
Okay, and we got a pause again. I think I'll just take a look at the items meanwhile. So RRQ, they've done a lot of ratting there. They did manage to at least not lose a team fight. The problem is right now they're in a position, their time to win, their small window in which they can win team fights is slowly but surely closing in front of their eyes, and the only response they got is trying to fight to then, like, you gotta push at least one lane out, try to fight, and then if you win the fight, commit everything you got to that lane. They tried that in the last fight, but they didn't win the fight quite significantly enough. Juggernaut had to buy back, which wouldn't be that bad on its own, but then he had to play really carefully. He couldn't afford to go down, he couldn't afford to take any major risks. And the dire base halfway through, lying in ruins. In logic, he seems to like his Juggernaut though. He even got a little give me your energy ward thingy, like ward animation, and it looks great with the green glow, but I don't think that makes the Juggernaut pick here any better. Invocation! Anything else major? Oh yeah, Lord Samseer. Faded. I know all of those by now. Ooh, this one I don't know yet. Wait, that's Shadow Shaman. Radiant, do they have any cool effigy? Test you, go. The Mighty Rock.
Radiant's top shrine is
Yeah,
under attack.
mighty, but I like it. Meanwhile, the Shrine's now getting taken by RRQ here. Even, I mean, it's a nice gold net worth swing to keep them in the game. But yeah, right now, the main issue isn't so much the gold net worth. I mean, honestly, for all we care, okay, Phantom Lance actually is 6 slotted. I was about to say, for all we care, Juggernaut and PL could be 6 slotted, and they would still have the same issue. There is a Phantom Lancer against an Earthshaker, which means a 2000 to 3000 damage Echo Slam. That's not even the only issue. The secondary issue is that you need to find a good initiation. If you even... Okay, this could be the good initiation there. Death Prophet found. And there it is. Can they take the Death Prophet out of the fight though? No, they can't with the Echo Slam. And they knew exactly what they had to do, who they had to find. It was a really good attempt from RRQ, but it looks like it's gonna be left at that. Just a small attempt. And they do find the Phantom Lancer now. Phantom Lancer dead. GG's gotta be called here soon. Seifer is gonna go down, and yeah, that's a GG. RRQ, they did put everything into this one single Death Prophet kill, and if they would have had it, then they probably could have turned this game. Nah, maybe. Death Prophet was still at buyback and ultimate up. But that kill could have been the last chance for RRQ to swing around. They didn't get it, and with that, Evos will take the first series. It wasn't quite that.
Why are you running away when you see the light? Is it because you can't get over yourself tonight? Listen to the sirens, you'll hear them